Hi, I'm Drew.
And I'm Scott.
Welcome to Every Man's Whiskey.
Today we're going to stop and smell the roses.
The Four Roses.
Welcome to the episode number 4.
That's exciting.
Yep, if you've not watched this before, first of all, thanks. What we like to do is compare the different values of the bourbons we try, see if it might be worth your money or not. I'm a bit of a beginner, whereas Drew has more experience.
Just a little bit.
Yep. So let's get on.
Yeah, today on our episode we'll be sampling Four Roses. We have the Four Roses Staple Bourbon, we have the Four Roses Small Batch, and we have the Four Roses Small Batch Select. I'm excited.
Me too. Really excited. I haven't had these two for sure.
Well, should be a good episode.
Yep.
Let's get started. For our first tasting today, we'll be sampling Four Roses Bourbon.
And as we pour, as is tradition on these shows, I like to share some facts. So fact number 1. While Four Roses has been around since the late 1800s, and in the 30s and 40s and 50s it was like the number 1 bourbon in the U.S.
I didn't know that.
Its survival is greatly due in part to the Japanese.
The Japanese?
The Japanese. So the bourbon took a great big dive in the U.S. in like the 60s and 70s. But at that point, bourbon was just booming in the European and Japanese markets. And the Japan and specifically loved Four Roses to the point where it was the number 1 bourbon there in the country in the 80s and 90s.
That is a good fact.
And it just got brought back to distribution in the U.S. in like 2002. So for a long time, you couldn't even buy this in the U.S.
Right. Good fact. Well
Blew
done.
your mind.
Well done. So, now we get to sample it. It is it's a very light bourbon. Yeah.
Lighter than most we've tried.
Right.
On the nose.
On the nose, we're getting definitely fruity, little flowery.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
It's
hint of vanilla.
It's not harsh.
Okay. First sip.
Yep.
First sip of the day. It's a little harsh, but not overpowering.
It's sweet and flavorful.
I need to go for the second. Second one's much better. Getting a kind of a pear to it.
Yeah, like fruity notes and sweet notes for sure for me on my palate. I've never had this straight. I've only had it as a mix in other beverages.
Yeah. And I used to actually use this as my mixture for old fashions. So recently I've switched over to Canadians, but before that I've really enjoyed Four Roses bourbon.
Why this one?
It's really accepting of flavors.
Okay.
And I have a special way to make my old fashions. So.
I've had them. They're delicious.
I know they are. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's a long finish. You're getting a little fruit, mostly pear, a little bit of apple.
Let's talk value, Drew.
Okay, so it's normally $20, 25. I usually wait till it's on sale for about 20.
Not expensive at all.
Not expensive.
Very attainable. Found everywhere.
Yep. So I'm a big proponent of it. I have been for a long time. I think you should buy it.
I would agree. This one is worth spending $25 on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
To enjoy on its own or mixed with other.
Definitely. For our second tasting tonight, we'll be going to Four Roses Small Batch.
Ever had this?
I have had this one. Yeah, I haven't had the next one, though.
I have not. But more importantly, fact number 2. While you just learned that Four Roses was huge in Japan, so it may not come as a surprise that it was actually purchased by a Japanese-based company.
Okay.
The Curran Company, under their Curran Brewery umbrella. They own other like beer brands like New Belgium and Brooklyn Brewery. They also own even like a Coca-Cola bottling company in New England
That's fun.
And they're even into like pharmaceuticals and agrobio. They're pretty big company. But I think the bigger picture is that Japan in general had a huge part in helping a lot of the bourbons that we enjoy today survive and even flourish because of when in the U.S. it was a downturn in bourbons, and they helped it grow.
Good fact.
Thanks.
Thanks for sharing. But... Yeah, so I enjoyed it. This one is a little bit darker.
Slightly,
yeah, a little bit. So it's more of an amber color to it on the nose. Getting some spices, a little bit of fruit.
Yeah, I don't get as much sweet. It's more like wood or...
Yeah, I got some caramel at the very end. Did you get that one?
Yeah, I feel like I always get caramel. It's like one of the few things I can smell.
Okay, nice.
Can we taste it?
First sip. It's a lot of spices to that one.
It really is.
It's not harsh, but it's... I don't know how
it's
to
not
describe
harsh
that.
at all.
Yeah.
It's good. It's not as sweet and
right.
Definitely a lot more spice taste to it.
You get that pepper.
Pepper, yeah. On the back,
and
it lingers, the pepper.
Kind of more of the same.
Yep.
So, final sip. Okay. So, this one is about $35.
So maybe $10 more than their base.
Right, than their base, yeah. I'm probably going to say pass on this one. I don't think that the value of this is that much greater.
I just enjoyed the first one better. I think the sweet notes I appreciated more. If you're into spicy and a pepper taste, it's certainly worth trying.
That's fair, yeah. So,
but I would pass as well.
Okay. We'll move on to the small batch select. So Scott and I are excited to try this one. It's a new one for both of us. This is the Four Roses Small Batch Select. And while I'm doing this, do you have a third fact for us?
Fact number 3.
Yes, I love facts.
There are competing legends for why it's called Four Roses. Version number 1 is that a gentleman by the name of Paul Jones Sr., he was smitten by a Southern belle. And so he sent her a proposal offer. And they were supposed to attend a ball, like a grand gala together.
Yeah, sure.
And she said, if my answer is yes, I shall wear a corsage on my gown. And so she shows up to the ball, and she's wearing a rose corsage with how many roses?
4.
4 roses, which said yes. So he named it after his passion for his Southern belle, which also led to his passion for 4 roses. Okay. Version 2 is simply that a guy by the name of Rufus Rose, he had the original recipe, and his brother and 2 sons helped make it, and so it's called 4 Roses.
Oh, yeah.
The website goes with the Southern belle story, but there's certainly competing versions.
That's fair.
Yep.
Okay.
There's your fact.
I like it. That was a good fact.
Thanks.
So, hey, you had some really solid facts this week.
I brought it.
Yeah, so thank you. Well done.
You're all welcome.
Yeah. All right. This one is about the same color as the last one. It's kind of
maybe
right on that
touch darker.
Maybe a hint, yeah. So.
Oof. What's the proof on this?
So this is a 104 proof.
Wow.
So it's a lot more potent.
Embraced myself for the first taste.
It has a much better...
Let's do this together.
Much better on the nose, though.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, talk about the nose.
Okay, so you've got vanilla right up front, and then it kind of goes into a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of oak.
There's a heavy alcohol on that.
Yeah, there is. Okay, you ready?
I can't get past the alcohol.
So you definitely get the heavy alcohol right up front, the ethanol, followed quickly by a little bit of pepper, followed quickly by some vanilla.
It's a good mix of both we've tried, because there's sweetness to this one more so than last, but there's also the spicy.
Right. I'm really liking the vanilla linger, though.
I feel like this one's more smooth than the last one we tried.
It is, yeah.
But it's higher alcohol, so I wouldn't have thought that.
Right.
I thought this one was going to burn, and it's pretty smooth.
Yeah. So, I'm really happy with it.
I like it. But
Okay.
we'll see how much I like it.
So, here's the thing. This one it's a $70 bottle. And, oh, well, I got mine at Costco for $55. So,
Pro tip.
Yeah, pro tip. At $55, I don't think that I would necessarily buy this again after it's gone.
Yeah. It's not like mind-blowing or amazing. That's a lot of money.
Right.
I mean, 70 certainly is a lot. If you find it for 55, maybe.
Right. But the original Four Roses,
It's really good.
It's really good. So I'm probably going to say pass on this one. In review, today on Everyman's Whiskey, we sampled the Four Roses. We had the Four Roses Bourbon, the Four Roses Small Batch, and the Four Roses Small Batch Select.
I feel like we really should have tried 4.
Okay, so I wanted to get the Four Roses Single Barrel,
Right?
but I went to 4 different places. And
Really?
Really, I truly
Seriously?
did, and I couldn't find it. Everywhere was out.
Very good.
So-
What did we decide about these? As you recall, go with the OG.
Yeah, the original. So it was sweet, tasty, really good flavors.
Affordable.
This one was a little bit too peppery.
Yep. Spicy.
This one, for me, the value just wasn't there.
I would agree.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us on Everyman's Whiskey.
Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share the videos. And make sure you tune in next week because we have a special episode where we're going to taste. Tell them.
I'm supposed to tell them?
Yeah, tell them what we're going to
Awesome.
taste.
We're going to taste 4 separate peanut butter whiskeys.
I cannot wait.
I can. As always, quality over quantity.
Drink responsibly. Let's just see what happens. We'll do this a few times. Ready?
No.
I start. I go.
I'm not arguing with you. Just go.
All right, so I can just go whenever I want?
Yeah,
So much power.
I know.
Sit here all night.
Today on our 4th episode.
No.